Hello, welcome with What is Your Soul Trying to Tell You? I am back here in Alberta, Canada. And as you can see, I've got on a bit warmer clothes. So we came from 30 degrees Celsius, and now we're at times, it's coming down to minus 27, 29 Celsius over the next couple of days. So a big shift, like plus into minus. And that has been interesting. It's been interesting for us. We have a chocolate lab, and we also help our son with his big Newfoundlander dog, and we walk them. And so it has been interesting to get back into connecting with the land. That's very big for me. I really feel called to connect with the land and to be part of it. Um, and my husband and I, as we're in our retirement and exploring our passion projects, mine being my business here, where I am doing sacred soul sessions, doing card readings, mentorship, helping women in life transitions to really figure out where they want to go, where they're being called to release, heal, live with their shadows, expand into abundance. That's what I'm called to do. And my husband is in music. And so it is so interesting how it is so interesting to recognize that as we move to different countries, different locations, because in the summer we have a summer cabin. And what does the land mean for us? How do you feel connected here? And in Canada in December, because it's getting close to the darkest night of the year, what that means for us is that you're in hibernation. You don't move. So my body just did a whole shift. It was just like, okay, you need to hunker down, girl. It is minus 29 out there. You're not out there doing different things. And it's interesting because I eat very different things in summer than I do in the winter. In the winter, you eat more stews, more root vegetables. And in the summer, more salads and fruit. So when we're in Mexico, that's what we eat because it's summer. It's 29. So it was interesting, an interesting reflection. Oh, and hello, Pedro. I see that you are here with me today. So yeah, please just let me know, Pedro, what's going on. What are your questions, and share your news. I would love that. I also have a reading I'm doing for TAD today. So I'll pull some cards for TAD. And just very excited to be home. And yes, it does sound like being in minus 29 might not be the greatest. But the truth is, this is also where our home is. So you come home, I have everything I need. I have my grandchildren, I have our children here, my mother. And so it's coming back and reconnecting. And that's also not just the land, but with who I am in the fullness of my life. And that's beautiful too. So, news, Pedro, I have a new mobile phone, and the two main brothers won't come back to the job where I work because one of them was sick the past Sunday or 30th. Also, the Russian guy is very ill. Okay. So you have two twin brothers that aren't coming back. So if you remember last time, you were wondering and you were saying, what's going to go on? And I said, oh, I think they're going to need you. And it looks like that is very true because they need you because there's lack of work. And I'm so happy for you that you got the abundance of a phone, Pedro. That is very exciting and important, very important. Phones are like small computers and they give us access to so much. So I am going to pull some cards for the collective as well today. So just seeing where we are in the collective energy. So I'm going to start collectively where we are with well, Pedro's just getting out his questions. Okay, so we have here what we are needing. So the first card that I have coming from, and this is for the collective, for anybody who's watching, this is compassion. And this is a deep card, compassion, and it keeps on coming up. And the reason why it keeps on coming up is because we're at this point, this 9-year, as we finish out 2025 and we move into 2026. Astrologically, there's been lots and lots of shifts. Lots of things have been happening if you reflect back. And it's challenging. And that's what is hard, is in the challenge, is that we can be really hard on ourselves, saying, well, I should have known, I should have. So as soon as you start feeling that should in your life, I need you to have compassion. So it's moving this week into compassion for yourself and compassion for others, because there's lots of different endings happening, lots of different aspects that are closing and completing. So having compassion for them. And the chameleon from Colette Baron Reid's Animal Spirit, act as if. So it's having compassion for yourself for what you're trying to create. And as you're doing that, it's leaning into acting as if you have what you want. So this is an important part of energetics. It's an important part of manifesting. So for myself, there are aspects that I am trying to manifest in my life. And the challenge, and I'm in this beautiful abundance course with Christy Yale, This Sacred Life. You can check her out. And what's happening is she talks a lot about in our 3D. So right now, we're manifesting what we've created in the past. We're manifesting what we were, our energetics. And so right now is not the reflection of what we're trying to create in the future. And we have to think of ourselves 6 months from now, 9 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. And what is it that we are trying to create? What is it that we are trying to create in our life? And we have to act as if it is now. And I've talked about this before. So in those versions, you can write a letter to yourself. You can do an interview with yourself. What does this future version of yourself feel? And when I lean into this energy, and I know I've been trying to bring it in, I've been trying to call it in. And when I lean into this energy for myself, I feel like it's almost shrouds that I have to pull over. It's just shrouds. And I say shrouds because I'm getting stuck in the energy of now and having a hard time pulling the energy of the future. So I have to really think about just, okay, I'm just releasing what is now, and I'm thinking about what the future is, what is happening in the future for me. So you need to do the same. You need to imagine a future. Imagine things can be different. Imagine and dream what you want. And don't be wildly audacious, be wildly crazy about your dreams. Don't limit them, because you're not going to be doing the how. All you're doing is the energetics. What does the future self, if you have these wild, amazing dreams, look like? What does it feel like for you? And now it's working on the receiving. How do you receive it? Because as you're acting as if, and you keep that energy in, it's receiving the little breadcrumbs that are leading you through that, and not freaking out, not worrying about how is it going to happen, not worrying about did it happen, and having compassion for yourself each and every time we cycle through this, because that's what happens. I know for me, I start, okay, this is what I'm creating. And then, oh, today I didn't get there. Today, I had a moment. Today, I emotionally reacted to my situation, to the people in my situation, and I was not the energy of my future self. And so I really need to dig into forgiving myself and starting again in that moment when I remember and just say, oh, I'm going to change my thinking. That's it. Change it to this future energy. Have compassion and then open up to receive what the universe is giving to me and not seeing the 3D world that we have right now as the evidence, but looking for the evidence of my spirit team working with me, your spirit team bringing you the dreams in. And if you haven't, I'm a big believer because for many people, we don't actually have dreams. Do you have a dream box? Do you collect on your phone pictures of places you want to go, things that you want to do, jobs you want to have, relationships that you want? And then start to imagine what you are feeling like. What are the energetics of you being in those? So that's a huge piece. So that's for this week, for the collective, that's what you're going to do. And now I'll move back down to Pedro and then I'll do a reading for TAD. So Pedro, you're talking about possibly the boss had fired them. And your first question, I re-encountered some mates, some ex-mates from the resort at the job where they stayed for one night. Now, so Pedro, remember, I can never read into someone else because that would be like spying. So from an energetic perspective, I can never find out what's in their heart, in their mind. What I can do, Pedro, is I can read what this encounter means for you. So what it means for you to encounter these two individuals and what that means in your life. So I'm going to see you have the two you have those two ex-friends, ex-mates that came. And let's just see. Sometimes, Pedro, it is, so we have the High Priestess in protection that just came out. And let's see, what else do we have? Okay. So what this means for you, Pedro, is High Priestess in protection. And what this tells me, it tells me that you know actually what this means for you. High Priestess is really about connecting to your intuition and connecting to knowing what's going on. And as you do the homework, and if you remember, your homework is really about self-love, self-esteem, and you do the homework, you're going to know the role that they play in your life. And it's inviting you on a new journey. The Fool is a new journey. The Fool is beginning something new. So you recognize for them what this means if it's new. Five of Wands comes in. Wands is a card of fire, passion, creativity. And in here, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of disagreements, arguments. So when I lean into these two new mates, so first of all, you know the role that they come in, and it's pulling me into something for myself, which is you can have relationships with people that you keep with really good, healthy boundaries. And that's your new journey. What role do you want them to play for your good, for the best of your heart, your soul, your future that you want? And you know, and you're going to navigate it. So I'm going to ask you to put your hand on your heart and you're going to know, okay, in this moment, it was a good connection. And now in a different situation, they're just using me or they're not respecting me. And you're going to know, and that's what the new journey is that they've come back in your life to start a new set of boundaries for them based on your highest good, your self-esteem. And wherever you see crunchiness, wherever you see them not valuing you, that's what's coming in for me, valuing you for the awesome individual that you are, wherever you see them Edifying you is another word, like just recognizing what a great guy you are, what a great heart you are, recognize you for who you are. And there's an equal amount of giving and receiving. It's not just you giving. So that's a key piece that's coming in. So, and actually you didn't know how to react because when they saw you, you responded and you didn't have a farewell and everybody in general. And so it was a good conversation. So it's getting you, so not knowing how to react, it's starting new. Just like these other people you just talked about, the Russian and the twin brothers, and you don't know. And allegedly they were fired. The same thing is going to be happening from your old resort. Allegedly things happened. Allegedly stuff happened. People do not know. So you need to just meet people, and it's nobody else's business. It is nobody else's business what happened to you and why it happened and what went on. If I remember correctly, you stood up for somebody, and this is part of what was happening. And in your learning journey, part of you is loving every version of yourself, every single version. The version of you that that made mistakes, the version of you that was emotional, the version of you, right? That's what this compassion card is about, Pedro, is having compassion. And now you have to act as if these mates that came in are kind. It's your new journey. It is your new journey. You get to start for yourself. Now, wherever it gets crunchy, that's where you need to put in these really strong boundaries. Okay. And it was a good conversation. And Pedro, now you're saying that they were fired somehow because they're not part of the WhatsApp group anymore. The boss removed them. And this is an update I forgot to tell. There was a few days ago. Yeah. And that's where, so regardless of what happened, we don't know what happened to them. And I'm just using it as an idea. They don't know what happened to you. You got fired, but they don't know why you got fired, how you got fired. It is not important. You're going to move forward because that was several months ago. And you're going to move forward whenever you meet someone, and you're going to use your intuition. You're going to really, and that means that you need to not allow your mind with your worries and your fears to dictate your actions and your emotions. You're going to lean in and you're going to say, because you're doing the homework, I am worthy of knowing good people. I am worthy of good relationships. I am worthy of having people love me for who I am. And you're building towards having a close personal relationship, a boyfriend. That's what you want. But you have to practice with all of these other people with good, healthy boundaries. And that's what this is about. It's getting you to recognize as you start this new journey for yourself. The 0 is the Fool. So she's doing a trust fall. She's just falling. So your spirit team is saying, we want you to start out new. And wherever you see that your boundaries, wherever you're crossing boundaries as well, or they're crossing boundaries, then that's what you want to do. Is that's a sign. That's where it helps you with your intuition. And I just want to look at, what is it inviting you to surrender into when you meet these new people? So this is Judith Orloff's cards. What are you being invited to surrender into, Pedro? Surrender to play. So this is just saying, enjoy it. When people come into your life, it can be fun for that moment. And enjoy the play, enjoy the fun until it is no longer fun, until they cross a boundary. And that's an important piece for you that your spirit team wants you to know, is just enjoy. Just have fun, experience the joy, experience the bliss of new mates, and trust that you are worthy. Because part of what's going to happen is our spirit teams bring in They bring in people from the past. They bring in situations from the past. And it's getting us to ask ourselves, have we evolved? Have we healed? Have we moved forward? Are we acting in new ways? Or are we in still the same patterns that we have been? And if we are, we act compassionately with ourselves. And then we move into what we want to do. And that's the same for me in relationships that I have. I find, right? You just get into it and you respond in exactly the same way I always have. And I have these same responses. And now what I'm doing is I am acting compassionately. And then with that compassion, I start to recognize the new me and really act in the version of the new me. Act like I want to be. Act like I have created this new relationship in my life. And that's what it's asking you to do, Pedro. It's asking you to do that for yourself. Now, I know you might have more questions, Pedro. And are my mates in general from my new job still discovering who I am? And what's their general opinion? Well, once again, I can't read your mates. I can't read your mates. So I can't do that, but I can see how you're doing in your job. So that's one of the things I can do is I can read you. So how are you doing in this new job? And you're with people not being there anymore, Pedro. That means that new people are coming in. So how are you doing with this, with relationships? Because that's really what you're asking. How are your relationships going? And okay. What's interesting is I have cards and they're all in protection. So they're all in protection. And I'm going to tell you. So what this means is that it's either blocks or you're getting there slowly. So the first one is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is the suit of water. It's the suit of relationships, and it's the suit of community and fun. And it's in protection, and you're not there yet. That's what this is saying. You're not there yet. So your mates, they don't know about you yet. They're still deciding. They're still trying to figure out who you are and what's going on. And so to be attentive to yourself, acting as if you're a good colleague, acting as if, remember all those, you are worthy of having these relationships. And that's what you need to do. So if you want to be in community, you need to, it's not there yet. They yet haven't formed these opinions yet. What you're struggling with. So King of Swords is in protection. What you're struggling with, this I have as a block. It's not energy coming in. So the King of Swords, swords is that suit of communication. Swords is the suit of being analytical. Swords is the suit of standing on top of the mountain. That's what he's doing. He's standing way on top of the mountain. Or it's one of like the kite birds that are flying over the ocean, really high, high up in the sky. And that's how they're seeing. They're seeing it, the big picture. It is inviting you to see the big picture. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a job? So therefore, for you, whether or not people like you or not, you are looking to have a really good job and keep this job. I'm not sure. This is where it's what do you want? And it's getting you to think about, do you want any relationship? Like, do you want everybody to like you? And maybe they're not worthy of having good relationship with you. So you just have to have a professional relationship. So this is getting you to look at, what do you want in your life right now, Pedro? What are you looking for from a big 30-foot view? That means the big picture, looking in the big picture with these people. Are you just looking for people to connect with and have fun? Is that what you're looking for? Because you need to figure out what you're calling in, and then you need to start acting as if. That's the biggest thing. Because even asking, what do they think of you? What do they think of you? It doesn't matter. Your spirit team is saying, what do you think of them? Are they part of your new plan for your life, your self-love? Are they treating you respectfully? What do you think of them? Because that's really what this is about. So it's you going back to thinking about you and what you want in your life. Because the 10 of Cups then comes in. 10 of Cups, it was in protection, but I see it coming in. 10 of Cups is, once again, is relationships. And it's the pinnacle. Every relationship you can imagine, and it's great and it's wonderful. But you are responsible for recognizing who these people are. And you're not like this shell on the wave going in and out based on what everybody in your life is doing. This is you taking control of the relationships and saying, okay, yeah, I think it's going well. I think I would like to continue building this relationship, and it's going to continue to take time. And your question is continuing. I'm getting there slowly, to be honest. I'm just worried if they use my reactions as an excuse and or what I defend. And it's saying yes, right? But that's where this is saying to you, your actions and what you defend. It's the bigger picture. If that's who you are as a person in integrity and that's who you want to be as a human, who cares what they think of you? Because you don't want to have close relationships. You can have professional working relationships with them, but they're going to know you as someone who has a line of integrity and cares how they speak and treat other people. And that's okay. And there are lots of people that for me, I am not close to professionally or personally that are in my family, that are in my group. I can be kind with them. But when I do my 30-foot view, some of them are racist. Some of them are limited in their thinking. And I can be kind because I treat all people with dignity and respect, but I am not going to give them my life energy. I am not going to give them my soul and my heart. And that's what I need to be very clear about. And so your third question is, what does my spirit feel about one of the twins calling me sweetheart? I'm looking for stability, not friendship, but still talking to people when I feel I need to do it. If I do see them or a few of them being friends. Well, at this moment, basically, no. Okay, see, so you're answering it for yourself. And I'm going to go back to this. The twin already said to you that they are not gay. That's what they've said. But I don't know. So what for you is this twin? You need to explore it. You need to kind of see, because I can't tell. I can just, what does this twin think of you calling you sweetheart? First of all, just from a me perspective, does he call everybody sweetheart? Is this just what he speaks? What does it tell you? You know if someone likes you or doesn't like you. And you need to figure out if you want to cross that line. And is this someone that you really want? Okay, so just going to do for this person. Okay, calling you sweetheart is about balance. It's not about love. It's at this point. It is cosmic balance, meaning that this person who called you sweetheart, one of the twins, is just saying, just leaning in. It's just who they are. It's just how they roll. Because in here you have water going back and forth from the cups. It's just how they are. And so you need to start seeing if you see something more, if there's a continual sweetheart, if there's a continual, you need to explore. And, depending on what you think, right? Because it's the beginning of you. Ace of Pentacles is the beginning of something, perhaps, but you need to be temperance is being very, very careful as well. Temperance is it's not flying forward as a yes. It is, I don't know yet. There needs to be really good balance. There needs to be lots of things in the right place. And if this person is thinking that, I think one sweetheart doesn't mean that's what it is. So you would really need to wait and think about this in a different way. Yeah. So this is talking about, what it is. So if this person is saying that just to you, you can ask, but be prepared that it might be a no. Be prepared, and be prepared what it might be. So this is moving forward cautiously. Temperance is like they put a governor on a car so it can't go faster. You go very, very, very slow. So that's what they're saying. Even if it is true, things that could happen. Maybe this person does find you intriguing, does find you enjoyable, but may not find you romantically, because maybe he doesn't. That's not how he is, not inclined that way. So I don't know. And you have to use your intuition to kind of cipher through some of these things, but it does look like things are going better for you, right? And if someone that is a term of endearment. So you're going to have to figure out what this means with him and you can ask, but I would not jump in, because temperance means go very, very slow. So even if there is at the beginning, it's like a teeny tiny seed, just a teeny tiny, tiny seed. So you have to allow this to organically evolve. Okay. And now, my beautiful Pedro, I need to pull some cards for a beautiful, 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 beautiful TAD. TAD wanted some information on hope. So I am going to, for TAD, she asked me to pull some information on hope. So for TAD, this is yours. Okay. And I'm pulling TAD. I'm pulling some cards here for you. Okay. I'm pulling. So for your hope, what does this mean? And surrender. So first of all, TAD, as we move into this, it is recognizing the Three of Swords. It is recognizing she is in anguish. She is on her knees crying and screaming in anguish. Her heart is broken. That's what the Three of Swords energy is about. And it's saying to you, TAD, that you need to recognize that this is one of those times, and you've expressed that, where your heart is ripped open and you are in deep anguish, deep pain. And so to take care of yourself accordingly, meaning what brings you joy? Is it having a salt bath? Is it having ice cream? Is it going for walks in the sun? Is it cuddling a cat? Is it going and having wine with your best friend? It is getting you to recognize that your nervous system, your heart, your body, your soul is ripped apart. So you need to ground and you need to take care of yourself deeply and wholly. It is so the 6 of Cups is all about memories. It's all about nostalgia and going back, and it's in protection. And it's saying you need to, in this moment, recognize that going back and reliving all of these things is not helping you. It's creating a loop, and that's difficult. The memories of what was. So I want you to now, if you can in your moments in between taking care of your heart, taking care of your soul, TAD, I want you to start thinking about what you would want to do. What are some of the things? Would you want to go would you want to go on a sun holiday? Would you want to go on a yoga retreat? Would you want to go fishing on a yacht? Would you want to start golfing? Would you want to start doing anything? So TAD, that's an important piece that you need to really look at, is recognize that being tied to the past will keep you in this anguish loop. It just does. And so with grief, we do have to slowly ground into the grief, hold the grief for ourselves, and recognize that grief. But also start to dream of the future, have compassion for yourself, and act as if this new future is coming into being. Start to dream, start to think about what things do you enjoy. What class might you want to take something in? Maybe it's astrology, human design. Maybe it's pottery making. Maybe it's, I know some people love pole dancing. They just find it's very hard to do, and yet it's fun, or any other kind of dance. What is it that will help bring you physically into a different space? And then this card is the King of Cups. Cups is the card of emotions, relationships, and the King of Cups is being fully in your emotions and you controlling your emotions. You recognize where they come from. So you recognize the anguish and you have compassion with yourself. You've just had your husband of how many years just leave you. You have been ripped apart. And so to recognize that, and then with your heart, have compassion with yourself for each moment that you're feeling, and have compassion to start exploring where joy and hope is coming through. What movies make you laugh? Where do you find that joy? What are you doing? Are you being active? Are you being spiritual? Are you, and when I say spiritual, I have my candle and my Palo Santo here, and I'm making sacred space. So sometimes I'm asking as I do this, as I'm taking my Palo Santo, and I'm asking my spirit team, I'm asking for them to help remove any of what does not serve me, all that holds me. Right? So it's getting you to do that. And TAD, it's getting you surrender denial. It's saying accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. It is hard to believe that this is happening to you now. It is truly hard to believe. And this card is coming in, is saying, but it is happening. And so you need to move into healing. You need to move into that grief process of allowing you to move into the hope and the next version of yourself. And it's easy to say this in words. It is a process that takes time. And it is recognizing that this has happened. And so seeing it as a portal. Seeing when you have a tower moment like this, it's a portal for what can come. And you won't understand this or begin to even be there until you accept it and then move on from it. And now, how are you going to move on? Like, what is your next step? TAD. What is your next step that you can move into? Okay, I have got TAD. It's asking you to come to life. It's asking you to engage in activities and explore what brings you joy. So coming to life is not denying. It's saying this marriage that has been here for years, has been every aspect of my life, is no longer there. So it is a portal. It is a gateway. I now have a Y in my road and I need to start doing something else. And part of that is figuring out who you are. Part of that is figuring out what brings you to life. What are things that you dream of? And recognize that this is a new evolution. And it's hard to see something really sad, really that is so full of anguish, having you come back to life. It's really hard. And I have deep compassion for you. And it is saying to have compassion. But I want you now to act as if your life, think a year ahead, 5 years ahead. Do you still want to be in this sadness? And I know you don't, because you keep asking for hope. So what does it look like when you're not sad? What are you doing? I want you to start daydreaming. I want you to start imagining. I want you to start thinking about a future. And I want you to start receiving what that looks like for you. Receiving where you see the light, where you're coming to life, and leaning into it. It's going to seem, your whole body's going to be like, no, 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 because I'm not happy. And it's getting you to say, no, you need to embrace it. You need to move forward and have your emotions. You can be in charge. The King of Cups is in charge of their emotions and saying, yes, my heart is broken. There is anguish, but I'm going to dream and move forward into a future. And I'm going to receive it from my family and friends that are reaching out to me, from new people that are reaching out to me, like me. You're going to continue. You're going to continue to do this. So TAD, this is a real moment in your life where, and I do see the Y in the road, it is a moment in your life where you get to choose. Fate is happening to you, and you are a victim, and it is unfair. Those things are true. And now you're going to shift from victim consciousness and you're going to say, okay, yes, this unfairness happened to me. And now in this life, with this breath, with my ability to move, with my ability to dream, to think, I can now forge forward with a new future. And here I have Wild Kuan Yin's Wild Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is about Shiva in the Buddhist tradition. And I just love the words that come. They're just beautiful words of solace, of joy, of healing. And they've, in the darkest nights, helped me. So here is yours. I'm going to read it to you. It says, the hand gentles the war. So TAD. No matter how much chaos there seems to be in your world, trust it. It is just what is necessary to move you into the right place at the right time for what is meant to be in your future. When it is no longer needed, her hand shall gentle and end the war. And this is where it's hard to believe, TAD, that your future, there is something better coming for you. And so it's asking you to move forward and to start to dream and act as if, and to dream and to receive the better future, to start to receive that. And to don't deny that the person that just left you, the person that just tore your heart out, it is unfair. Don't deny that. And don't deny who they are. They're sharing who you are. But the beautiful Kuan Yin is saying, this has happened to you. And Carolyn Meese says the same thing. Carolyn Meese talks about, before we even come to earth, we set up these soul contracts, and they are here to move us forward. And this, you chose to move forward at this point. And there is something beautiful for you in the future that you cannot even begin to imagine, but the divine, the universe, can imagine it for you. I want you to lean into fate, no, not fate. I want you to lean into your destiny and start receiving wherever you see light. Start to see where you come to life. When you put your hand on your heart, you feel the emotions, TAD. You feel your joy and your happiness coming in. And I want you to truly, truly lean into that. So I hope this reading holds you well, TAD, and I hope that it helps you to release and become the best version of who you can be at this moment in this time as you're coming into life. And for everyone else, remember to have compassion. Remember to act as if and begin to receive the joy, the blessings that are coming as you energetically move into what you're calling in for yourself. Until next time, keep leading with your soul.